Hello, hello, beautiful angels. It's Teza. And today I have this beautiful new moon energy of creation. And I was thinking of the way to really share these gifts of Akashic records and what's going on with my inner explorations and also the gifts that I'm receiving from accessing the records of other people and how I can share this spiritual tool. It's quite an immense vast knowledge and very complex, right? Because first of all, for those who are not aware of what is Akash and what are Akashic records, so let's go to the root of Akash. Akash is a Sanskrit word meaning ether, sky, or primordial substance before anything becomes a form. So, for example, this clear quartz crystal, it's a Merkaba form. It has a blueprint, it has a consciousness. So, like the plants, right? So everything is recorded. The blueprint is are the records of all your actions, your thoughts, your words, emotions, intentions, everything that you've done in this lifetime and also in other lifetimes, dimensions and realities. So if we try to comprehend with our linear mind, it is quite complex because it is like a book of your life. And it's a multi-dimensional type of healing. So that means we're not only dealing with your physical, mental, emotional, we're also dealing with astral, etheric, or other beings that are attached to your energy fields. So, for those who are not aware that we are not only physical, there's a lot of stuff that is attached to us, right? Our emotional field, our mental thoughts, those entities or spirits, right? That have passed on. This is like the mediumship. Like we are truly eternal because as a medium, I could feel and hear messages from those that have passed on, right? So that means our soul is eternal. And if you have the gift of mediumship, like clairaudient, clair sentient, you're able to access their messages. They're forever communicating with you. So we go through this dimension, this third dimension that we are in our body, but we have more assets than this body, like astral. So when we go to sleep, you're dreaming vividly. You're out of body. You're traveling. So there's a lot of things that the Akashic records are composed of, right? They are the compendium, like the encyclopedia of everything that's been done, that's happened, and it's actually recording as we speak. So it's omnipresent, right? And the gift of knowing your records, you are able to understand the bigger picture of why things happen to you. Like recently, my son passed away, and I was able to tap into the soul's perspective of his contract or agreement with my soul. So, in knowing that agreement, I was able to see and let go of the painful, attachments that we have as a mother. I was able to transcend this tragedy. So, for me, if I could do this, if I could live with inspiration, with positive outlook, I I am able to. to share this gift to you per se, right? Like if you're listening to my messages, I truly believe that we are, amazing innate healers that we are when we're able to fully open our mind, our hearts, and tap into our highest potential. So basically, what I'm trying to say is Akashic records are our spiritual access to whatever is going on with you in this linear time, right? And to bring you into the soul's perspective. So it's a higher state of consciousness that you're accessing. So I am so excited to start this series of videos to share to you the cases that I've been exploring, and I'm tuning in to these beautiful souls that come into my healing and my school, which is Akashic Soul Healing Mystic School. And I'm also in the process of editing Cosmic Soul, which are the records of the healing that I've done. So interesting and amazing. So today I want to touch on, there's so many things that we can explore, but today I want to touch on infancy, like your child archetype. So our child archetype is one of our survival universal energies or templates that we have. So all of us have this inner child, the child archetype, right? So when we are stuck in this adulthood or whatever age you're in, you've created a pattern from infancy. Even before infancy, it's actually like with your mother's conception, it's with your blueprints, what are your karma. So we're very complicated beings which have a lot of webs, right? Like what do we really want to learn from this lifetime? So for example, if I want to learn forgiveness in this incarnation that I have this karma of sexual abuse, which is actually one of my roots to do healing as a healer of Akashic records. So I have a contract and a blueprint with my father that I will incarnate here, and he would molest me, so then I could have this experience of pain and suffering, and that would be the wound of my soul to do the healing path that I'm into, right? So it's quite important, as your inner child holds this pain body and the validation that the inner child needs to understand or to feel love. So if you go back to your childhood experience, however it looks like for example, one of my clients have an experience of, as a premature infant, like if you lived in an incubator for a few months, like my nephew actually had this experience. So in that trap, right? Like it feels like a trap, and it creates abandonment issues, separation. You feel alone, you feel not loved because you were not touched by your parents, or all this intimacy that you haven't really fully received because you are unconscious that as an infant you have this boundary. Now, how do you heal this, right? This is quite amazing that you found out that this incubator, this separation that you had from your parents, your family, created a wall for your intimacy to open and receive. So now you have to shift your awareness that this wall is not something to separate you from love. It is actually the incubation of nurturing and loving your body as a premature child, an infant. So there's so many layers of healing that you can approach this, but because of your access to your soul's records, you're able to see the patterns, where it started, and how you can shift this and be aware, because your awareness is your wisdom. This is your conscious awareness that was created in the unconscious. And also because we are the microcosm of the macro universe, we're also collectively tapping into the suffering of the human species. So as a light worker, that's how we see ourselves, to bring in this light and anchor this information, this enlightenment that we are going through. Now that we are in the dark age, which is the Kali Yuga, this is the time for all of us spiritual beings to really fully share our light, because that's when others can remember their own path of true enlightenment, which is the freedom to be yourself, your authentic self, and to just really be focused, centered, and balanced, because we are in the midst of distractions, right? Like, I don't even watch TV because I don't have a TV since 2011. And so I have glimpses of news from people who talks to me, from my patients as in the nursing home. And that's the only way that I am receiving this negative energy, but it's an information for me, where we're at. But I literally focus my attention on doing healing, expansion of the Akashic records to reach more people, because this is really needed. And yeah, this is a gift for all of us to be collectively conscious, aware, and how we can all shift our consciousness to evolve as a beautiful sentient being with compassion and kindness to everyone. So, really, there is no separation. Anything that you feel separated from is actually your ego, your small self, that is telling you, all these lower vibrations of jealousy, envy. As human beings, we were trapped. It's like an entrapment of the lower frequencies. And now is the time to raise our vibration, be joyful for what you have, to count your blessings, in the midst of darkness. This is the new energy. And the new moon in Pisces is about dream of a beautiful world, the beautiful universe, that all these sentient beings that are now here will be stepping up into their light, into their shining, radiant self, because that's where we want to be. So then we can assist in our ascension and evolution of our spirituality. Well, thank you so much. So I hope that gave you a little snippet on what goes on with the Akashic records. And yeah, I'm going to share experiences that are really, coming up for the Akashic Records students. So on April 7 and 8, I have a level 1 Akashic Records workshop in my home. I always love to share this intimately. That's why I don't really resonate with big teachings, but I want this to be an intimate relationship between me and my students. And also, yeah, April 7 and 8 in Westminster area. It's from 10 to 4. I'm opening my home to you, beautiful souls. And thank you so much for listening and following with the Akash and how we can help each other. Yeah. Be light. Thank you. Namaste.